Welcome back to Limestone 1213. Muhammad speaks prophecy to the Muslims. Okay, so where were we? Well, we was talking about Jesus as being the prophet, right? His prophecy and how the kings would today reflect on the same thing as the prophets, being the fact that I challenge their authority to rule. So let's take a look at the religions for a moment. Which religion out of Jews, Christian, and Muslims break the rules the most in worship and in following the correct form? Out of them three religions, which one y'all think breaks the rules the most in following what Scripture requires? Well, anybody that's wise is going to say Christians. How many things Christians do wrong to worship Jesus? Psh, man, look, we'll write a whole New Testament about this. So, now, how many? So we recognize Christians are the number one rated in breaking the way worship is. They're supposed to worship their king by feeding themselves, by the correct form of worship, by keeping the Sabbath holy, by not mixing them in with new gods. You know what I mean? Knowing a proper form of stand in times of prayer and worship. I mean, millions of things. You know what I'm saying? Not follow the rules as told, follow commandments. You know what I mean? Millions of things. You know what I'm saying? Don't not speak amongst your men. Don't try to lead a conversation amongst men. You know what I'm saying? Millions. I mean, the Christian woman will take right over, you know what I'm saying, in the middle of a conversation with men, you know what I'm saying? When that's showing authority over men. I mean, she's outruling the position of a man, you know what I'm saying, by taking lead in the conversation. Many women do that, you know what I'm saying, here in Babylon. How many Christian women have stepped in front of their man's conversation and taken over their conversation? You know what I mean? Because they feel they got authority over her husband. So only the Christian women know how to do that the best. So because they all claim they're Christian even though they don't go to church. You ask them, what you are, Christian? Oh, I believe in Jesus. So we recognize that the Christian religion is the number one religion that breaks the rules the most, and when it comes down to worshiping, right? Because Muslims, number one, they don't eat pig and pork. They eat correct. They worship correct. And the only thing wrong with the Muslims is that they're willing to go all the way out about the religion. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of Christians ain't willing. Now, that don't give them correct forms. I'm not agreeing that they should grab bombs and start blowing themselves up. No. Thou shalt not kill, and you should stick to the commandments. You know what I mean? But we recognize that. Okay. So we realize that, you know, it's a big problem because, you know, they stuck on Allah, they stuck on Jesus, and they stuck on the Messiah. You know what I mean? So two of these religions are snakes. You know what I mean? The same two snakes that fell in front of Moses. So it doesn't take the authority away from Jesus that is king, because I'm not saying that. I'm saying, look, this is the correct way. You know? But it's not going to take authority from the Muslims and tell them that, no, these Christians are imposters. The situation here, this is the situation here. Father's showing me that, you know, there's a purpose. you know. And the purpose goes back how many times they've been coming back and forth through time. You know what I mean? So they stuck in the religion for a purpose. You know what I mean? So if Muslims are left behind, Christians are left behind, and Jews are left behind, it's because it's a purpose. Now, what happens? Okay, cool. This will make more sense because they say Jesus was life-giving. I mean, the last Adam is life-giving. Well, they assume, well, they must mean Jesus because Jesus is saving souls and giving life. But Jesus don't need to come they need to come as the last Adam for that. He came in holy as it was, coming from the seed of the eternal fire. I mean, the eternal Father. So there really wasn't a necessity for him to come as the last Adam. But it was a necessity for him to name it the last Adam. Or the scripture, I don't know how far that last Adam goes before, if it goes in the Old Testament or New Testament. But it's been said. So it must mean, you know, and justified maybe through the Old Testament, I'm believing in here, because the Jews even have to agree with this. The Jewish religion. Understand? Did Jesus wrote in his New Testament? Or I am of the last Adam scripture is talking about? Did he write it in the Old Testament, the tabernacle, whatever the Jewish people follow? Or did he write it, did Muhammad write it in the Quran, the Holy Quran? Understand? Jesus didn't claim the last Adam. The Quran didn't claim him as the last Adam. Neither did the tabernacle claim him as the last Adam. So who is the last Adam? Well, today what I'm doing, I'm life-giving. To all three religions. Very spiritual. So now let's go. We got that part. Let's go to the Lion of Judah. Right? Well, way at the beginning, I was calling a lion for a long time. Until a couple days, he hit me with, look, this is what the Lion of Judah, this is the lion, what it meant, and this is what it is. So, what's the Lion of Judah trying to do? Open a book. What have I been trying to do? Open the book. So, the Muslims, Jews, and Christians, do we say, can we believe that the Lion of Judah is in heaven? Or could the Lion of Judah be on earth? And does it mean a physical opening book or a verbal way of opening a book? Cool. You want to take it to Joseph Smith. Joseph Smith. The Joseph Smith claims he got golden tablets from an angel. He put it under his arm and he ran like an NFL player. With something that maybe weighs what? I don't know, 200 pounds? Who knows? But most Christians that believe in Joseph Smith believe that Joseph Smith could have been given the power of God to be able to lift these tablets. Cool. Let's say no. I can agree with that. God is almighty and he gave power to Moses to split a sea. So it's possible that he could have gave to Joseph Smith the power to lift 200 pounds like an NFL player, running back. But the problem that we have with Joseph Smith is this. Joseph Smith was a Freemason. They all could agree with that. I recognize what Freemasonry stands for, in which the organization, because somewhere along the line, I believe I created the organization. Now, Joseph Smith plays black and white bulls. Joseph Smith didn't allow black people, didn't like black people to worship under his church. When Muslims, it doesn't matter as long as they believe in the same faith. Muhammad Ali said, "I never seen so many people treat me so normal until I step into Islam." Quoted. His own record. But you see, the Christians been in black and white bulls since what? The Puritans stepped in this land. Understand? And we still on black and white bulls.
Coquito. Yeah. Oh my God, that's good.
We can look at all the religions, all the Christian religions.
Each person.
Stay tuned in.